about set data podcast in Vietnam. So almost the audience is in Vietnam, but we will try to expand into the Southeast Asia and Asia too. So today, the first day, we can talk about the data in sales in sales map we researched before, right? So today I want to have a small time with you, maybe about 60 minutes. We talk together about the sales and sales map and sales in China and your. So first of all, you can introduce yourself a little bit for the people in the podcast area.
Okay, so hi everybody, my name is CJ, and I am the co-author of Sales Map. What Sales Map is, it's a situation judgment tool or situation judgment assessment.
Yes.
That means we are not testing people based on their selling styles. I think we'll talk about trade map, we'll have more of that, handle stress, what is your negotiation styles, or how you approach conflicts. So those are selling styles. Now, sales map is totally different. We created about 33 different scenarios and asked, ask the salesperson, how would you respond in each scenario? And with the 33 scenarios, there are 166, so 166 different possible responses.
Yes.
That you can respond to all different scenarios. In each scenario, we don't ask you which is the best option, which is the worst option. We ask you, how would you rate from 1 to 10 the possibility of you taking a certain action in that scenario? Now, a typical scenario sometimes can have two very good possible actions. It's possible. Sometimes there's only one. Sometimes there's a very good option, but like what we always do in sales,
Yes.
the best option may not be available. So there could be a second best and there could be a third best if
Yes.
the best options are not available. So we factor all that into the test. And the result is, while you are going through the test, you actually learn something about yourself, how you sell, how you should approach the customer, and so on. And you get a report on some of your strengths or weaknesses, especially on the certain things that you may want to change your sales strategy moving forward.
Yeah, I see. So before we dive into the data, cell map data and cell map profile, so could you share a little bit of something, a little bit about your book in China, winning the Sales B2B in China? How is the
Yeah.
book and how is the
So yes, yeah, sure. So in the 2021, I published a book called Winning the B2B Sale in China. I have been working in China from 2004 to 2020, and the book is a summary of my experiences, the stories I've heard, and what are some of the things that sales people did successfully, and what are some of the things that they fail. So I combine some of those stories or some of those things that happened into the book. So those are the book, and we also have some sales principles, some sales ideas and concepts that are infused in the book. I'm also going to have a new book, coming out this May on data-driven sales. So we are looking at not just about how much you completed your sales target.
yes,
Those is what we call lagging indicators. It happened already.
yes,
We're also looking at your leading indicators, as in how you qualify customers. Who should you reach out? Are you reaching out to the right people? And of course, we also combine data from SalesMap and other assessment tools to see what you can do moving forward to meet
yeah.
targets.
It's mean that I understand that about the difference between the winning B2B sale in China and the new one, right? The new one is more in the future, more in the competence for the future, right? Is it right?
Well, the new one is just sales. We use data that we can use in sales.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and everything is all about B2B. The first one is very China specific. All the stories are based in China. The new one is more general. It can be done anywhere. We use names that are very popular in Southeast Asia as illustrations. So a lot of things are very much localized and
Yes.
focused on Southeast Asia.
So because of right, some audience they take the message to me before our podcast, right? So they said that okay, the China market is a little bit the same in Vietnam. So maybe your sharing is good for the Vietnamese people who join today. So I want to ask you have you something to share about the because of you do the sales training sales B2B training in China, Singapore, Malaysia and Thailand too. So also in Vietnam, so that you could you share something about your experience and a little bit benchmarking about the sales competence or sales process, a sales B2B process in each country.
Right. So in all countries, the sales B2B process is about this. If you're talking about the main processes, it's about the same.
Yes.
So typically, we start by looking for customers. Even if you are selling to what do you call existing accounts, key accounts, we also look for new opportunities within old customers, existing customers. So we're always looking for opportunities, and we also make preparations to meet up with these customers. So that's the first phase. Now, the second part is when we are meeting with customers.
Yes.
Usually mean two parts to it. One is about how do you understand customers' needs, right? How do you ask the right questions? What happens if the customers don't feel comfortable answering your questions? How can you guide and get your customer cooperation to share more with you? So that's the getting needs. Then the second part of meeting with customers is how you present your product, your solutions that address the needs. A lot of sales people just do presentations that are very general, and they are not addressing to the needs of the customers.
Yes.
A lot of sales people also, everyone knows that asking questions is a good thing. But when sales get stuck, they just skip the entire asking questions and just go into presenting before understanding what the customers want. Right. So that's the second part on meeting. Now, in B2B sales, which is different from B2C, B2B sales tend to have a longer sales cycle. We tend to need to follow through with customers for 3 months, 6 months, or longer. We may want to follow with different people along the way. And sometimes customers can be very interested, but they don't have the budget now. The budget may come 3 months, 6 months later, and you need to sustain the interest before the budget comes in. So it's a long process. How do you manage this time process? How do you go from one person to stakeholders in the customer's organization? How can you find out who are the key people and what are their needs so that you navigate your way to sell better, right? And of course, like I said earlier, if the customers are not ready to buy it, how do you make them ready sooner, or to sustain the interest until they are ready? So this is the following through part. And the last part is on negotiation and closing. We need to close sales, we need to negotiate, and we always have price objections. How do we then manage the price objections or manage the expectations? How do we justify the value to them? Sometimes we may need to negotiate with different people. Like, for example, many times salespeople tend to negotiate a lot with purchasing people. But purchasing people only work according to the budget that they are given. So if you want to expand budget, purchasing people cannot do, and they are not willing to do it. So you probably will need to reach out to other people to negotiate to get better pricing. So these are some of the things, the four main structures. It happens anywhere in the world. It's the same thing. The question again is different cultures will have different nuances. So let's say Vietnam and Thailand.
Yes.
So Vietnam, like when you say Vietnam, is a little bit like the Chinese in the sense that Vietnamese tend to be more practical, tend to be like, why are you charging me so much? But give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reasons why paying more is going to help me. If you can help me work out an ROI,
yes,
if you can help me to justify, I pay more for quality, and then it's going to help me to win more of my customers. If it makes sense, it is justified correctly, the Vietnamese customers tend to want to buy into that. They are very practical. They tend to go for selling points. If the time makes sense, they're more they tend to take a little bit more personal risk. They're willing to take the risk to try and see whether it works or not. So that's a good thing about Vietnamese customer. They are quick in decision making, practical, willing to take risks. Of course, if the product is not good, then they will not deal with you forever. But generally, they're quick to make decisions. They just go into what's in it for me. How will this help me? And they'll just move on.
It means that we go directly to the result. Okay, how is the result we got?
Very results focused, very, very outcome focused. Now, Thailand has got a totally different culture. Thailand is very relationship focused.
Yes.
It's also a lot more hierarchical than Vietnam. So hierarchical means, as salesperson, are we able to say no to customers? Are we able to challenge customers to say that, hey, maybe that's not a good way. Maybe I can suggest a better way. Of course, we challenge with respect. But Thailand, any kind of challenges to customers tend to be harder. I'm not saying they cannot. It takes a longer time. They'll take a longer time to build trust, build mutual respect, build a relationship before they can discuss deeper items. So one of the salespeople that worked both in Vietnam and Thailand told me that in Vietnam, if you want to visit customers, you can ride a motorcycle all around town or even throughout Vietnam, meet customers, and customers will not care what kind of motorcycles you ride on.
Yes.
Right? So that's a Vietnamese customer. In Thailand, you have to drive a BMW, you have to drive a fancy car. You cannot jump motorcycle to meet customers because the customer will think that if you come in a motorcycle, firstly, does it mean that you're not doing well? You don't have what it takes to buy a good car, right? Secondly, no, you're driving a motorcycle to see me. It doesn't seem like you're paying enough respect to me to give me enough face.
Yes, I see.
So that is a Thai way of doing things, and in a way, business in Vietnam tends to be more efficient because we get to the point. Also, a good thing, I think, it also places higher requirements for salespeople because for Vietnamese customers, you cannot bullshit them, right? For lack of a better word, you cannot say things that are not true. You cannot just try to make them happy to say, "Wow, you got nice house, you got nice factory." They don't care. They just say, "What do you want?
Yes.
What's it for me? What are you selling? How does it work? How does it work for me?" Right.
Yes.
So they are very, very outcome driven, point based, and you need to be very prepared based on that. Sometimes the salesperson may also need to do some homework. To figure out what background of this company, are they featured in the news recently? Do they have recent customer problems, issues, or production issues, or something? So you go in with some things that you are already prepared. And the Vietnamese customer tends to appreciate that you did your homework. You know at least a little bit about us. When you ask questions, it's not something too basic, it's something that is to point, and it makes the business move faster.
That's mean that it's mean that the sales creativity, competence, and sales preparation we need in Vietnam, right? We need more time for to do that. But in Thailand, being almost based on the relationship, right? And your face and your car also.
Yeah. Thailand, it's a lot harder for salespeople to try to make cold calls. They tend to, and again, these are general things, and I'm sure in Thailand there will be customers who are receptive to cold calls. Just that generally, in general terms, they tend to only talk, not even buy, but talk to people that they know well.
I see. So I think in Vietnam right now, so the sales B2B in Vietnam, the budget the budget waiting is the big not problem, it's a challenge. It's a challenge because of like we follow the rule of the financial process also, so that it's hard for the. Maybe I understand about the concept that we need to longer time for the sell B2B process. Okay, if you have any case or any case or any best practice about the how to reduce the time for the sell deal, right? So you can say before we go to the data.
So there are two things to watch out for when you want to reduce the sales cycle time. The first thing is to be prepared and to know who to look for. So, for example, your first contact may not be someone senior, may not be someone influential, but it's just someone willing to talk to you, willing to share a bit more about their company. So you meet with this person, you talk, and maybe you find that there's an opportunity. Now, you need to work smart in the sense that can this person help you to identify who you should talk to next? And who you talk to next may not be the main decision maker, maybe boss, because it's too early. It may be if you're selling something technical, it may be a technical person. It may be someone who is not very happy with the current things that are happening in their company. So it's talk to someone who's more influential and wants to make some changes. So if you're able to go through to the right people in the right way faster, it may shorten your sales cycle. The second thing to think about when the customer says, "Well, I want to think about it. Maybe not now. Maybe in a few months' time." So the second way is to think of ways to let the customer know that if you feel that this is something that is going to save you money or make you more money or help you in some way. Every day of delay is delaying you achieving that outcome. Especially if you're saying you want to save money, and we do this thing every year, you can save a certain amount. Now, every day of delay of not getting this thing, it means that you are spending more money than you should. You're increasing your costs than you should than if you're having our product. So it's to let the customer know that it's not because I want to chase you for the sale, but we worked everything. We have understand your needs. We have presented how we can help you in certain places, certain things, and the delay actually is more detrimental. It's worse for you than it is for me, right? So it's a lot of customers, and hopefully they make the decision fast. Now, the thing about B2B sale is part of B2B sale is we are helping our customers to help their customers. Or help our customers to sell more to their customers, right? In one way or the other. Because in B2B, people don't just buy and use for themselves. They buy, they put into production, they use it for something, and eventually they create a product that
Yeah,
They sell to
that's
the
very nice concept about the thing about the mindset mindset of B2B sales, right? So we
yeah.
have do we have the customer to serve their customer also?
Yes. So if we help our customer to serve their customer, and through our conversation, of course, your conversation has to be very good. Through
Yeah,
the conversation, you find that there are certain things that we really can help our customers serve their customers better.
yeah.
So any delay in getting our products means they are not serving their customers better. They may be losing customers. Their competitors may be coming and catch their customers. So there's something we let a customer know that it is in their interest to
Yes.
make faster decision than to delay.
I see. I see. That's it mean that like some story about the we have the employee of the customer. Yes, we have them maybe happier, more healthier also.
Yeah. Same thing. Yes, yes. If you're selling health products, same thing. Why you should take your multivitamins now? If you delay by one day, then maybe you don't have a healthy body by one day. It creates more health problems down the road.
Yeah, I see. I see. So, CJ, right now we dive into the data about the
Yeah.
sales map, right? What we collect in China from China and from Vietnam. So, okay,
Yeah.
you can share your screen right now, and we can talk about the case study from Vietnam and China, how we benchmark it, and how we have to people to understand about the sales map prospecting also.
Right. Before I share my screen, so for China, we haven't put up the overall report yet, but generally, the numbers are, I think we have around 200 people who tested in China, and
Yes.
then another 50 or 60 or so for the rest of Asia Pacific. So
Yes.
we have people from Japan, Korea, India,
Wow.
Singapore,
That's nice.
Malaysia.
That's nice. Okay, we can we
Yes.
can do a little bit benchmark between the market, but maybe of course we have the a little bit data, but we can have create the benchmark report research for this like a
Yeah. Yeah. So in China, we not like I know, Jin, you have done some comparisons with trade map.
yes.
So unfortunately, in China, we have not done that. For some people, for some reasons, most of the people that took sales map with us have not taken trade map.
Yes.
We should group and sell them on trade map. But so generally, we have four stages. Let me see if I can.
Okay.
We have four stages in the oops, no, this is in the what do you call sales map. So the first one, like I said earlier, is preparation. The
Yes.
second one is meeting customers. The third one is follow through. The fourth one is on negotiation.
Yes.
And what we found is the weakest link is on the customer meeting.
Yeah.
So again, we have not made the formal application of the scores, but generally based on rough ideas, out of
Mm.
1 to 10, 10 being the best score.
Yes.
Um, Generally, people score around 4 or 5 for meeting with customers.
Yes.
And then for the last two, for following through and negotiation, generally people score between 6 to 7.
Mm.
Right. So that's the overall situation in China.
Mm. So I see when I do a research in Vietnam market so that the highest right now in negotiation like the interaction negotiation with
Yes.
the client but the missing with the customer is the lowest, right? So
Yes.
I think it's a little bit the same in China, right? So
Yeah. I think it's not just a China thing. I think it's an international thing. I think even if you do this in the Western countries, I would still see that the meeting with customers is still the lowest score.
Wow.
So it's I just have a call with one of the German companies based in Singapore. So what what they are saying is they have been through spin selling training, they've been to challenger sales training, they've been to social selling, they've been to, you name it, the top brand
Yes.
sales training in the world. They have all been through everything.
Yes.
But they are saying they are saying that they learn everything, but they don't seem to apply anything,
Yes.
right? So and the core of a lot of these programs, no matter how you frame it, spin selling is all about asking questions, customers' questions.
Yes.
Challenger sales is you challenge customers, you teach them, and then you tailor your solution according to their response. It's all about how you communicate and how you have that sales conversation. So these are the programs that are basically centered around it. And
Yes.
meeting with customers is it's always an issue. It's always an issue having that conversation with customers. I
Yeah.
had a conversation with someone who used to work with Dell computers in UK. So this is a British guy or Irish guy, and it's the same thing. He's saying that
Yes.
the sales people is just going there and just saying, "Do you want a laptop?" Rather than asking, what are your computing needs in your company in the next 1, 2, or 3 years? Besides a laptop, what about are you facing security issues when your people bring your laptops, use public Wi-Fi and so
Yes.
on? So do you go into needs discovery? And
Mm.
he would say that at least half or more than half of the salespeople never do that, even though they have been through a lot of training to say that you need to discover the needs of customers and provide what they want.
But in my mind, really want to ask about the correlation between the preparation and meeting with the client and meeting with the customer, right?
Yeah.
So because of the preparation not good, maybe influence impact to the meeting with the customer, or like a sales creativity, create the solving problem, solution, provide a solution for the client. So that's why I try to make the correlation between the competence.
Yeah.
Yes, between the competence, like the following through and negotiation is the strong correlation.
Yeah.
So and relationship building in back to the deal closing, like
Mhm.
a little bit in the same in Thailand. You said that, right? Preparation does not immediately influence negotiation.
Right. Yeah. Well, the thing about the preparation here is not preparation for negotiations.
Oh, I see.
Preparation for the entire sales process. It's before you even see the customer, you want to prepare before seeing the customer. So it happens in the very beginning. So when it comes to negotiation, you probably have been through all the process. You met with the right people. You've done the product demos, and maybe you wanted to discuss about price,
Mm.
payment terms, and other volume, and so on. So that's the last part of negotiation. So
Oh,
preparation that you prepare to see the customer for the first time, and the negotiation, it's probably a long time in between.
yes, yes, I see, I see. That means the different mindset about, okay, the like the each phase is different, right? It's the phase the that's the collab, right? That's the collab cycle uh,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
for say, right?
okay, yeah, yes, yes.
I see, I see. So how do you think about this? This is the radar check for the sales commitment for a team, maybe 16 people. Yeah, you
Mhm.
can see that. How we can get the benefit from this?
Well, the thing is, I think how you actually, I think it probably right now we don't have enough data to tell us
Yes.
what's the trend, but for now we can use it for self-reflection.
Yes.
Because on things like if you are good in managing stress, handling pressure, it may have an impact on how you look for new customers.
Yes.
So it may help. And for now, it's more like if you have two reports, one from Trade Map on how you approach selling, and one from Sales Map on how you will implement the steps in selling.
Yes.
Is to look at both and reflect and see that, what are some of the strengths and how you can
Mm.
leverage strengths to cover your weaknesses.
Yeah, I think in this data, okay, we can see we can use it for the whole picture, but sales team competence first, sales B2B team first,
Yeah,
and then the secondly, I think is that some people they have the strong point in the competence,
yeah,
but in some case, some people they need to improve more
yeah.
about like a meeting with the customer or following through negotiating also. Yeah. So
Well, I would say this is interesting in the sense that in China, I would say that the meet with customers chart will be a lot flatter.
yes.
If you look at this chart, the preparing and prospecting and preparation, especially prospecting. Uh,
Mm,
it will also be flatter on the right hand side as well. So the biggest weakness in China
yes.
is with customers. The second weakness is prospecting. So in a way, maybe if we change just now the wording from prospecting has got a very small
Yes.
correlation with negotiation, it probably will make more sense.
I see. I see.
And following through, it's about managing customer relationships,
Mm,
different stakeholders, how you go from one person to another, how you make sure that you are able to see the customer again and again. So these are the relationship building part, which are good in China because it's a relationship driven culture.
yes.
Uh, and for negotiating, it's also good because they're good traders. They are able to make sure that they are able to negotiate deals that protects their interests and also make sense for the customer.
Yeah. I see. I see. So how about the sales coaching in China right now? And if we so I of course we have the dashboard like this. It's easy for us to have the self reflection. You said that is okay,
Yeah.
but the self coaching process.
Right, right. So the sales coaching is okay. The way coaching works is all the assessments, whether it's sales map or we are using trade map or any other assessments out there, we use it just as a basis for some discussion. So in the initial coaching session, we may do assessment. We may ask the coachee to say that, this is the results. What do you think about it?
Mm,
Which parts you agree? Which parts you disagree? Is there anything that you want to work on? Right. So that's the assessment part. Now, from then on, usually coaching works. Coaching works by saying, what would you like to work on? So the coach asks the coachee, what would you like to work on today? So
yes.
it can be based on the assessment, it can be based on their usual work, it can be based on a specific customer that they have challenges or difficulty working with. So we'll go into that. And coaching is not about giving answers directly. Coaching is always about asking more questions
Yes.
to help the coaching clarify their thinking, to reflect, to see, if there could be certain ways that they could have done differently, right? And of course, because being in Asia, we always still like to have some advice.
Yes.
So at the end of all the questioning, at the end of all the answers from the coachee, as the coach is still expected to give a few pointers, a few advice on what
I
we
see.
need to do next. Yeah, but
Yeah,
the point is, we don't want to give advice without understanding fully the situation, right?
exactly.
Because
Exactly.
the coach may be a very experienced salesperson in the past, but it's the coach that has first-hand experience with the customer, with the market, with their own reality. So what worked for you as the experienced sales coach may not work for the coachee, right? It
Yes.
really depends. So it's better to gain more understanding of what's going on before giving any advice. So that's one part. The other thing is the thing about salespeople is sometimes sales managers tend to spoon feed the salespeople too much.
Yes.
So salesperson says, "Hey boss, I there's a customer who just wants a lower price. Can you help me?" Right?
Yeah.
Either you help me by giving me a special price, or you help me by going with me to see the customer and you negotiate with the customer. And
Yeah.
I, as a salesperson, I learn nothing. Right? So
Mm.
coaching, what we want to do is get the salesperson to think about it, reflect about it, clarify
Mm.
what's working and what is not working, and see if they want to what is the next step for them.
Mm.
When they say the next step, if it's a totally wrong answer, it will never work. The coach can stand to say, do try this way. This may not work, or why do you think this will work? We can be the gut rail to advise them to say that which may tend to work and
Mm.
which may not work as well.
Yeah, I see. So, from my mind, so that one of the advantage of the report like this reads, we help the sales team manager they understand the first one understand the team member, right? And the
Yeah,
second one we know what is the strength point. That's
yeah,
very important for help the sales team member is more confident. They will more confident with their capability, and they just do a little bit thing for the. So how do you think about so have you ever tried to train or coach for the sales manager to coach
well,
their team, right?
yes, and this is something that we have been working for a few years with Cisco. So
Yeah.
Cisco,
Cisco.
the router company. Just some background. They have been not trying. They have already implemented everything by subscription only. So
Mm.
in the past, when you buy from Cisco, you buy the routers, you buy boxes, you buy hardware. Now they rent you the hardware. They got software written in the hardware. So if you stop paying, the software will stop working, right? So
Yes.
so there are different added value items in the software that works together with all the hardware, ranging from WebEx, which is an online meeting tool, all the way to the routers, to security, to everything. So that is what they want to do now, making the shift from selling hardware to selling a subscription and selling
Yes.
software subscription. So last time is how many routers do you want? What is the capacity? I'll just give you X amount. You just pay on a day. That's
Yes.
it. We do business. Now it's like, okay, we have routers, but what do you want inside the routers? First of all, what are the issues that you want to overcome?
Yes.
Is it just setting up network? What about security? What about different issues? And then we come up with this is a package and this is a subscription rate. And if you find that this is too much and you want to scale down a bit, we can advise you how you can scale to a smaller package and work your way to the bigger package and so on. So it's a totally different way of selling.
Yes.
So what they do, and the thing about Cisco is they got so many salespeople,
Mm.
they're not able to train them all. Right? If you want to have sales training, even if it's on the online learning like this, it will take.
Mm.
So a lot of their learning is by self-learning. It's e-learning, self-learning. You log on, you go through the e-learning items, and you learn yourself. Now, the thing is, although there are assessments that test you to test your knowledge, like did
Yes.
you really go through? Can you pass the test? But applying those knowledge is there's still a gap. So where we come in is we train the sales managers. They call them the first line managers, how
Yes.
to coach their salespeople. right? So the salespeople already know. So you don't coach people if they don't know nothing. If
Yes.
they don't have the skills, you train them first. So their salespeople have gone through the online learning to learn how to sell subscription. Some may know how to do it, some may still not know how to do it. The managers will help them and coach them on the challenges they face with customers, the challenge they face with applying the knowledge or
Yes.
anything, and be better salespeople. So that's how we help Cisco to make sure that the salespeople are able to make the switch.
Yeah, I see, I see. So how about the mindset about the copy idea? So I think in some case I face in challenge like this. So the customer they just want to the trainer or the coach so show the showcase, and after that I copy to do the same like this. So
Mhm.
did you see any case for that?
In terms of you're saying that salespeople just show something and that's how they sell. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Right. So the thing about sales managers is that if you want to know what your salespeople are doing, uh, again, there are two ways, and you can combine the two ways.
Yes.
So normally, sales managers will bring the salespeople to go on joint visits with customers. So you will hopefully the sales manager can observe the salesperson in action.
Yes.
Some Many times the salesperson will just wait for the manager to talk, and it becomes the sales manager hand.
I see. I see.
Yeah, but we try to make sure that we try to let the salesperson know that when on joint calls, it's still the salesperson's job. That is their job to handle the customer. The customer should talk to the salesperson, not to the manager.
Sure,
And the
sure,
manager
sure.
is there to help when it's needed, and also to observe, but not to be the main person driving the sale. So that has to be established with the salesperson. So we observe salespeople. That's one way. The other
Mm,
to do assessments like this.
yes.
So and we can use the assessments and very quickly understand where the strengths, where the weaknesses, or what is the kind of selling styles
Yes.
uh, of the salesperson. Just now, I was saying that prospecting is weak in China, meeting with customers is weak in China, but we also have people who are very strong in prospecting and but weaker in
Yes.
following through and negotiating, especially following through. So these are what we call the hunters. These are the people
Yes.
who are willing to make cold calls, who are willing to knock on doors and understand customers' needs and make sale, but they're not good in trying to work through different stakeholders in the customer's company, right?
Yes.
And sometimes we have there's a top sales who is not happy with the score, which we thought was a very good score. He's got 8488.
Mm.
So prospecting was 8, follow-up was 8, negotiating was 8, but meeting was 4. So
Oh.
it's like in a way, it's like he's really showing the customer, okay, this is our product, this is the best product, this product will work for you, but it does not engage with the customer to find out what the customer's needs are.
Yeah, I
Right.
see.
So
I see.
again, that assessment, even though I don't know this person before we met him, but the assessment gives paints a picture of the selling style, and
Yes.
because he's so good in 3 out of the 4 stages, he's still the top sales of that company, right? And it's a matter of is he able to work on his weaknesses to make him an even better sales?
Yes. Yes. So that's mean okay. I see about the benefit of the we do the sales map for the sales team member and sales team manager. So because of they need to understand okay that we still strong and we still have the strength and weakness, okay, and after that we need to move and how to improve, but improve is not good, improve is not good idea, but the mindset and how to develop our competence for getting the result, that's better. So
Yeah.
so
So sometimes for the mindset, that's where we combine the sales map with training. And in the training, we don't start with telling people, this is what you should learn, this is what we want to teach you today. We start by asking a question. How has your market changed in the last 5 years,
Yes.
or even the last 2 years? Right? So the changes, maybe more competitive, maybe more price driven, and so on. So if your market has changed so much in the last 5 years or last 2 years,
Yes.
what are some changes have you tried to meet those changes in the market? Right. And this is something that we try to use it to work with the older, more experienced salespeople.
Yes.
Because the more experienced salespeople, they will say that, I have been in the business for the past 20 years. I've
Mm.
seen everything. I've seen all kinds of customers. I've seen all sorts of things that are happening. I know how this business is being worked out. And then when they work on the salesman or even a trade map, they
Yes.
find that the scores are not really that fantastic and they're not very happy.
Yes.
And that may not change their mindsets. So we use it another way to say that, hey, what are some changes you see in the last 5 years,
Yes.
right? And if that changes, what are some changes that you think you need to make? And we are not here to tell you you're wrong. We're here to tell you that many of the things you did are right.
Yes.
Otherwise, you can't survive 20 years in this industry. So there's certain things you did, definitely they are right.
Yes.
It's
I see.
how are we going to get better and how can we adapt to the changing needs of the market?
Yes.
We also sometimes to let them understand how we met the scoring scale. So out of a 10-point score, one
Yes.
to two is hopeless. Now, very few people have 1 or 2 point scores. It
Yes.
happens
I see.
sometimes, not a lot, right? And then 3 to 4 is you can do a lot better, right? There's a lot of room for improvement. Now, 5 to 6 is passing point. So you passed. It's
Yes.
not so when we see the scores with Vietnam, everybody passes. About 5 to 6 is a passing point. 7 to 8 is good.
Yes.
And 9 to 10 is excellent. Right. So this is how we look at it. So if someone score 8, it's great. It's really good already. Right. And if
Yeah.
someone is well, it's below passing, but it's not like there are certain things, of course, we can pick up and learn a bit better. And that's why we work together with training to see how we can be better.
Yes, I see. And if we have do have we have the data from trade map is the is for many benefit for the sales manager. Okay, first about understand because in my mind so the trade map sales competence is like a naturally way to sales competence, right? So
Yes.
yes, I want to discuss with you about a little bit about sales map.
Mhm.
Sales competing
Yeah. Yeah.
data in Vietnam. So we can take a look first. Yes,
Yeah.
just a moment, please.
Yeah.
Okay, I will change my. Okay, okay. Mhm. So okay, CJ.
Yes.
So right now we have the a quick report about the sales map data.
Mhm.
Sorry, trade map data. So
Yep.
this is the result based on a trademark personality assessment due by Sunset Partner from 4 year,
Mhm.
maybe 6 year, but I combine the data from 2019 and 20 to
Yeah.
21.
Right.
So that we now have the development of the 9 core sales competence. That's okay. So we can see the sales demanding field require a strong communication, but
Yep.
this study analyzed by one more than 1,200 data
Yep.
we collected, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, we can see that the result here, right? So in nine way to do the sale, we have a sales stress tolerance, persistent networking, reading people, influencing, sales
Right.
presentation, preparation, creativity, and customer orientation also.
Mhm.
So in the I wanna try to do the combination with sales map.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. But before we do that, we need to see how the trend line, the stress tolerance is very good. So I think it's in sales map we have the meeting follow through, right? Follow through with the
Yes.
customer,
Yeah.
right? We
Yeah.
need to sell stress tolerance because maybe the customer we don't have that didn't understand their needs also.
Yeah.
That sorry, okay. So, but the sales position slightly grow and high fluctuating networking is a little bit fluctuating, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So, okay. So, here is now the data we collected. Okay, benchmark with the 2021,
Right.
2021, right? So we can
Mhm.
see at the how is the change in each cell commitments. So that could you tell me a little bit about the trend and how y'all think about the sales commitment right now in Vietnam, and which sales commitment you think is the can combine with the sales map for state?
Mhm. Uh-huh. Right. I would look into okay. First of all, if we look into, I'm just looking at 2024 scores,
Yes,
and we can see that the strongest ones are the one the bottom four. You got sales goal orientation that is
yes,
increasing 5%. You got sales preparation and sales creativity. So these probably are the rising trend. Now, why is it that like the first one, the tolerance or even the
yes,
persistent tolerance especially was great in 2022 and now
yes,
is in 2024. I don't know, maybe the market just got more competitive.
yes,
2020, we're still in COVID, right? Early 23 is like the whole world, especially China, has fully opened up. And 2024 is really post-COVID, and we have a lot of market challenges because of post-COVID. Everybody is just doing,
yeah,
this was bad for most people, right? So yeah, is that a bigger reason why we have lower stress tolerance?
yes,
Uh, we're looking into what are some explanation because of that. Um, we also look into sales influencing, which is very unstable, right?
yes.
So we have a very low sales influencing, a very high one in
It's true.
2023, kind of middle for 2024. And again, it's hard to say why. I mean, is it low in the 2022 because we are not opening up yet?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And then 23, we just open up everybody just to meet everybody else. And then 2024 again is a bad market. So we have met everybody in 2023. 2024 is not a good time for meetup. We cut our traveling costs, and is that a
Yes.
reason? So again, we probably will need to find out, why is that the changes in that behavior or inclination. Now, when it comes to what I call correlation with sales map. Again, I can only say my guess because
Yes.
I still don't have data to map the two assessments results together. So
Yes.
we need to do maybe 100 samples of people who have done sales map and trade map,
Yes.
and see if there's any correlation. And the thing is that we also prefer them to do the two assessments at the same time or
Yes.
around the time. So a lot of sales map participants have done it in 21, 22, 23, and it's now 25. So it's about 2 years ago, or
Yes.
2 or 3. Well, that's a larger gap. So they may have changed certain things. So we don't know. right? But if we are able to have the same person taking the same test in a span within a month or within a week, even better,
Yes,
then very reliable data to see the correlation. Now, what I can see, because sales map is all about how you handle the situations, it's behavior, and it's
yes,
very specific on handling that situation. So things like sales preparation, reading people, influencing may have what I call relatedness with those behavior. Not even sales networking. Sales networking is
yes,
everybody I know people. Where sales map is I want to know the needs of people. I want to have a way to reach out to people.
yes,
So there's more influencing, more a little bit more on reading people and understanding needs, a little bit on preparation, right?
yes,
And
yes,
maybe the following through, maybe with customer orientation. So that's uh, again that's just my guess,
yes.
and more data to find out if that is true.
Of course, we need to have more data for this. But the good way to make the observation about the sales map and trade map also. And now we go to the next slide for the
I want
influence.
to add one more thing about trade map, sales map, and skills training. So
Yes,
the major different things, but they're related. Trade map measure your potential.
yes,
So you may have great potential for stress tolerance, persistence, networking, but
exactly, exactly.
really know how to do it right. So it's a matter of your skills and knowledge. Sales map is on knowledge. You know
Yes.
what to do in certain situation. But will you do it? And can you do it the right way? We don't know. It really depends on the skills. So that's where skills training comes into place.
I see, I see. So, like we said that the influence of the personality trait on sales competence. So, yes, one more thing we need to analyze deeper in the personality and the situation because of like I said, when you said that okay, situation judgment, right? Test. So that are the behavior. So what they do in the sales B2B. So right now it is the potential. Like we know now, goal orientation may we combine. We can okay the trade map technical result before so that the emotional control, assertive, competitive, and drive is the goal orientation. So that's
Mm.
very, I think in sales map in B2B sales is very important for that. Follow the negotiation, follow the customer, follow through. How is
Yeah.
that? Yes. And from my side, the creativity is very important because of the um, uh, uh, progressiveness, creativity help the salesperson. They have more idea for the client problem, client trouble also. So that
Yeah.
and they think more about how to help the client serve their client, right? Or
Right.
their employee also. So
So from the part of sales map, if you look into the adjectives, the descriptive words in this line,
yes,
we can measure calmness, especially during a presentation. You're challenged by a customer. What would you do?
yes,
So able to manage it calmly. If customers don't answer the questions, what do you do? So
yes,
what you do is the choices, but the underlying behavior or underlying emotion could be
yes,
calmness, could be
yes.
confidence. We measure how much drive you have, how assertive you are, and how persuasive you are in
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
different scenarios,
I see. Of
right?
course.
So yeah,
I think it's a very good way for us to help the people to understand more about from and the other side. Okay, here's potential. Okay, but in Vietnam right now we use for the like a culture for core value design.
mhm,
Okay, or for help the people to understand their team strength also. So because in some case we use in the training for the people to have the okay understand each other and how to use more networking, how to use more dry or dutiful and also because in some case they need to use more their personality like drive, right? Okay, they need to more drive, more calmness or more optimism also.
Yeah.
Yes, so that is the good way for the sales person. They
Yeah.
have okay, they believe in themselves. Okay, I
Yeah.
have the sales potential competent here, right? So you
Mhm.
can do okay, you they can do by themselves, okay, and they can prove. And if they never or they worry or they scare about in the sales B2B, they need to look back to the potential of the sales in trademark, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's like
Yes,
potential.
let's
Yeah.
do it. Let's do it. Yes, we can combine together. So
Yeah.
CJ, I am very excited to talk with you today about the sales smart and sales B2B also. So I'm excited to find out more about the correlation between the trademark and sales smart and as well as personality, right?
Yeah.
So yes, I also excited if you can share in the next time we can talk about the sales map competence map in the around Asia like China, Vietnam, Thailand, Singapore, Japan
Sure.
also, right? So okay, this is good for you.
Right. Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay. Now time for ending. Thank for your time today. We can
Thank you. Thank you.
thank you,
Xin,
thank you.
thank you. Cảm ơn.
Cảm ơn. Xin chào.
Yeah. Yeah.